Several areas of Tshwane are still experiencing water shortages. The city is struggling with water shortages. The community of Refile relies on water tankers despite a 79 million rand reservoir that is on their doorstep. The residents say they were promised that the newly built reservoir would end their water woes, but alas, that has not happened. Nqobile Madlala is in the city of Tshwane for us in Refile. Nqobile Madlala, where residents have been telling you that in fact they did not invade this particular space. They were moved there and they were promised that they would get the basic services they need.
Yes, they did say, in fact, Dudu saying that all these services that they're asking for is something that they were rightfully told that they will be receiving. That's, of course, including water, electricity, that they would have out DP housing, and so on. And one of their major issues that they have highlighted is that electricity, because they don't have electricity, it's become such a major issue that they're now reliant on illegal connections, which is something that is incorrect. And they're saying that they have been speaking to the city for quite some time, but the city has not responded since 2016 when they moved there. They don't have power, they don't have water, and the sewage and the sewage pump, which was built at this point, has been vandalized. And of course, now I bring in the MMC of Human Settlement in the city to speak to us about these issues. Refile community have a reason to be angry. I mean, it's been quite a long time, and according to them, in a week to come, it's going to be 9 years since they've been waiting for basic services. What has stalled?
Good afternoon to the listeners of All 5. We have unfortunately hit some few snags while we were doing the establishment of the township Refile Extension 9 and 10. And one of the issues was we had issues with the construction mafias who stopped the project because we're building a reservoir, we're building 2 sewer pump stations. We're also reticulating the area. You would appreciate that when we moved the residents of Extension 9 and 10 from where they were on land that was not suitable for development. So we had to relocate them to this land that we are establishing a township called Refile Extension 9 and 10. Now, when we started the project, the aim was to first reticulate the areas with the pipes of sewer and water, and then commission the reservoir as well as the 2 pump stations. The laying of pipes is completed. The reservoir is completed. The only problem that we have, and as you have already alluded, it is the 2 sewer pump stations and the treatment plants. Now, the issue there is, yes, vandalism, but also we have had a snag with Eskom because they are the ones that are responsible for electrification in that area, to also assist us together with our sister department, Department of Energy and Electricity, to build electrical supply to the 2 pump stations. Until those are done, we cannot commission the reservoir because we don't want people flushing into an area that will then be flooded with sewer. So we need the pump station to function so that we can commission the reservoir. The work is 95% complete. I can tell you right now, the only reason why there's no work right now is because of this builder's break. But the teams have been on the ground to complete the 2 sewer pump stations, and then by the end of January that place should be having water and flushing toilets.
And whilst we talk about that, it's a bit too late though, isn't it? Because already people have started on other parts of the township, have started using the sewage pump, and when we were there we could see the water filling up already. That looks like a disaster waiting to happen again.
Yeah, true that, and it is unfortunate, and this is something that we've communicated to the residents there. Hence, I've said to the team that they must move with urgency, because if people have started to flush and the pump stations are not working, it's going to clog up and the sewer will start spilling into the township itself. So we need to work very fast so that we make sure that those 2 pump stations are functional. Like I said, the estimated time of completion is by the end of January, and we are hoping that by February people should have flushing toilets with working pump stations as well as the reservoir. The reservoir is complete. It's ready. I hope that you went there. You saw it as a very beautiful infrastructure, and we are hoping that people of that area can also safeguard these assets that the city is building for them.
But the people where we were in the Extension 10 mainly, they don't even have electricity. At this point, they did show us that they were using illegal connections, which in itself is incorrect. But they've been waiting since 2016. Why don't they have electricity?
Like I said, the area is both City of Tshwane and Eskom, so we have to work together, the 2 spheres of government, because also that Eskom is an entity on its own, to bring electricity into that area. But those are one of the areas that we know that we have approvals, and we are ready to start working on electricity. Like I said, right now the issue was water and sewer, and electricity is something that we'll also be ensuring that they have. And we are discouraging the use of illegal connections, because not only are they dangerous, but they also cost the city a lot of money. And we are saying to people that they must refrain from doing that and wait, because they can see themselves that there is development happening in that area and electricity will come.
So when will they get electricity? Because we did see a bulk supply going to one of the pump stations, but there was no sign of any infrastructure that shows that the community will be getting electricity.
Yeah.
When?
We are hoping that by the beginning of next year, we will be able to start with electrifying the area with the infrastructure. So when will that be completed? Then we'll have to start talking to ESCOM project managers as well as ours, so that we can get a comprehensive timeline as to say when can that be done.
MMC, the community said, and really they're up in arms, they said that they're going to be giving the city at least 7 days before they take to the street. How are you going to control that?
Well, we can only plead. Because the work is there and they can see the work. And also, one of the biggest problems that we're having is these so-called construction mafias. This work should have been done by the 15th of December right now. But we had a snag in October when we went back to electrify the 2 sewer pump stations. We were stopped by these so-called construction mafias. And working together with the SAPS and hopefully with the community, we can really get a grip on these delays that are caused by these criminals. Because that's what they are. They are criminals, and they hold governments and communities to ransom. And we're really hoping that the SAPS can really come in and assist us with this. So our aim is to ensure that people can just have patience. In the next 4 weeks, which between now and January, we should be able to have flushing toilets and taps having water running in the homes of people. The provision of water through water tankers and as well as the mobile toilets that we have provided for the area is not conducive, but it's something that we can give as a relief in the meantime, so that people can be able to use the toilets as well as have water. But what we are asking is that they must not use the water to flush the toilets. They must use the mobile toilets that we have given until the 2 sewer pump stations are ready to be used.
And lastly, now that we understand that the community feels the way that they feel and they deciding that they could potentially go onto the street, can we expect any officials to be on the ground to speak to the community then?
No, we will be there. In fact, since Monday, I've been doing this refuel extension 9 and 10. I've been there, and the team has been there, and we are hoping to get the ward councillor so that we can have a proper community meeting and a follow-up information in that area. I will also be releasing a statement that I hope will be shared with the community in the next coming hours.
Thank you very much, MMC, for speaking to us. Well, the MMC is just explaining to us that in the next 4 weeks, he says there's going to be a difference. But of course, just saying that there's been a snag in what they have been doing. This is mainly because of what has been happening on the ground, with a bit of criminality taking place in the area. But he's saying that this is something they're looking into, and that SAPS is working with them. But of course, he is just pleading that the community does not take this into their hands and rather waits for them to come to them.
Nqobile Madlala, thank you very much for that report.